Alright everybody, hi, it's me, up in the corner. It's Arcane, I'm relaxed today, it's a nice Friday evening, drinking some soda, doing some replay casting of these two teams here, Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team versus Backbone in Division D West. This is a round 5 matchup in NGS Season 7. We are loading into the replay right now. Haven't watched this map at all. I know it's Infernal Shrines. This is game 1 between Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team. You have to say the whole thing every time, guys. You have to. And Backbone. Hopefully, I've tried to get it to use Aliabs. If it does, I'll switch over. You won't be able to see my beautiful mug in the corner over here. We got music. That's a good sign. We got that sweet, sweet music coming along. I'm gonna just take a nice refreshing sip of this soda here. Got absolutely nothing in that. Yes, does not look like Aliabs works. Let's go ahead and hide that timer there. And I'm sitting in front of the replay thing, so let's get started with Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team on the left versus Backbone on the right in the red. We have Andrade playing Diablo, Orlun playing Stukov, Shank B9 playing Zarya, Hybrid Remix playing Jaina, and Megumilk playing Urel. And on Backbone we have Simulationist playing Johanna, Bell playing Rhaegar, Emerald Guard playing Li Ming, Zorus playing Tychus, and Judo Chop playing Dahaka. So we're going to see both teams kind of split out. Dahaka's actually going to stay here and try to 5-man. We see Urel just kind of chilling top, Megumilk chilling top up there, waiting for Dahaka to join her. Dahaka will rotate up now. Diablo's in control of the Tychus, but not able to get the kill in. Whoa, my audio is so loud. Sorry about that, guys. I think if I'm... Yep, it happened. It did the thing again. They chunked up the audio on me to crazy levels. Turn those down. Turn that up. Turn that down. Make sure this is set up correctly. Alright. They did it to me. Every time I switch over to an old replay, I have to make sure I go in and check that master volume, because otherwise I'm just going to get destroyed. Oh, that's so much better than audio right there. Although it doesn't look all that much better for you guys, let me just turn that mixer down a little bit. How's that looking? Oh, that's way better. Alright. Alright, guys, we've got a little bit of a skirmish breaking out mid, but nothing to write home about as we move down towards the bottom lane on this 4-man rotation. Looks like Zarya opting to stay mid, not coming bottom. That might make this rotation a little bit hard, especially with Diablo trying to make a play here from Yavapai. He's going to eat a lot of damage out of that Tychus, a lot of damage out of that Li Ming, and just go ahead and back right off. If you're not going to have your Zarya rotate down with you, and you're down to just a 3-man rotating bottom, you definitely want to be playing less aggressive and just soaking that wave. If we notice, this wave was never actually even soaked bottom. So they're missing, that was a good half wave of soak miss there. But again, it's not too much to worry about. Just if you're going to be doing that kind of rotation where you're still trying to cover mid during the rotation, you're definitely going to want to just make sure you're soaking the wave and not much more when you rotate down. Tychus kind of out of position here. Diablo capitalizing, but not able to actually get the kill. You've got 2 people here on camp. They can rotate up rather quickly. Johanna should not be the only one doing this camp. If anything, Johanna should be here cleaning the lane. Rhaegar should be up helping Li Ming clear the camp, and Tychus should be with them. Johanna can clear this lane. Johanna can clear this lane. Looks like Rhaegar is being caught out trying to get onto this bottom camp. The rest of his team did not come with him. Backbone not rotating down to that bottom camp with Rhaegar, but looks like Rhaegar's going to make it out, and he's going to hearth his mecha butt all the way back. Oh, no. Okay, he decides not to hearth his mecha butt. Sorry, I called it a mecha butt. I guess that stopped him. Engaging Diablo's a little bit overextended with the Tychus there, but now Tychus is very far forward. Far past his tank, who's busy clearing that bottom siege. I really did like the, in the late game, have luck, good fun being thrown out there. Looks like Urel's really stomping on this solo lane. As a Dahaka, I know you have to play a lot more passively in the solo lane. You really want to be fighting all of the minions right around here, keeping them from damaging your towers and your gate, but just soaking up all that. And he does opt to Z back top, doesn't miss very much soak, and is ready here for the objective. Looks like it's going to be 5 members all rotating up towards this objective. Aura Luna opting to start it off, start whacking on him, but coming down to help the Zarya and help the rest of the team. Diablo charging in on this, the Haka, I can't speak. Stukov, good silence there. Mega Milk has to back off, a little bit of low health, but jumps right back in, pops her own heal, gets that Stukov heal. She's gonna be back here. I really like Urel on this map. Her little Q can help clear these minions, and she's a pretty good solo laner right now. She's in a pretty good spot, but Diablo's not in a good spot. Way out of line. I don't remember seeing him. I think he just charged somebody. The rest of his team was too busy clearing shrine minions and wave. But a big turnaround as Johanna overstays, Rhaegar overstays, and Dahaka goes down. I missed the Dahaka kill. Don't remember seeing that one. I mean, maybe it was when Diablo charged over, and I was simply too focused on talking about whatever boring thing I was talking about. But either way, it looks like we're going to see the first what's he called? John Cena. We're going to see the first John Cena Punisher. There we go. Words coming to the caster at the last possible second. The first Punisher, the Arcane Punisher. We must bow. We must worship. It is Arcane as we are Arcane. First Punisher going to Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team. Tychus takes the jump. Okay, he's got a dash. He makes it out. Good jump. Made sure you got it over. Isn't going to get too much value here. It is Arcane, but Arcane's not that strong early on. It looks like they're going to get maybe a fort wall, and if they push for it, they might get a fort here, but Punisher's dead. It looks like they're just opting for the well, and then deciding to back on out. That is a good call. They've got a Bruiser Camp pushing up into them. They've got Urel already down mid here. Looks like Johanna's opting to match the Urel soak to keep them fairly even on levels. Backbone will leave about not even half a level behind at this point. Looks like Backbone opting to push a little bit top here while Yavapai has to clear this Bruiser. So being able to get a little bit of push here, but I'm not really sure how much it's doing other than just simply kind of stalling this lane out and keeping them up here. Urel being very aggressive. Okay, staying in the bush, not as aggressive as I thought. Just keeping tabs. Just keeping tabs, saying, hey, I know you're doing the camp. Let's do our Bruiser now. Is the decision from Yavapai as the siege comes pushing into mid with Urel and Johanna. Looks like Rhaegar and Tychus rotating back down towards bottom to help push that bottom lane back out and get some soak while Dahaka kind of clears top. He's going to have a little bit of a harder time soaking this lane top because he doesn't really have that gate to hold it in that optimal position that he wants, which is like right here. Because he's a little bit too far overextended right now. Judo Chop actually going to get grabbed by the Dahaka, and if there's no rotation up here, he is a goner. Diablo can pull him out of that. No, Diablo doesn't opt to push him. I believe Diablo had cooldown on shove there. Either way, utilizes the Z to get out and get on to their siege. Backbone opting to take Yavapai's siege while all of the confusion was happening, but that leaves top lane here with a full Bruiser, full health Bruiser, and Zarya to just push and take out that fort. So camp versus fort, I'm not really sure if that was worth it. Dahaka definitely lived, but I think Backbone's team should have been rotating to defend this fort. We do see 10s come online for Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team, who've just been kind of running a gambit of this second phase of the game here after the first Punisher. On top of their rotations, on top of soak, making sure that they're in the right place at the right time, giving things like this when they know they don't have everyone on their team to take higher value targets like the fort here. And 10's online now for both teams. Let's go over them now that they are here. We've got Ardent Defender, giving her that self-heal. We've got Ring of Frost, Graviton, Surge, Flailing Swipe, and Lightning Breath. So, a little bit of an interesting combo there. I would typically probably have seen Ring of Frost with Apocalypse, but Lightning Breath can also help you land the Ring of Frost a lot better. I think of the wombo of Apocalypse, Graviton, Surge, Ring of Frost, all coming down at once, and the Flailing Swipe letting you kind of get your Diablo out when he overextends or the enemy team overengages. Looks like a whiffed ring, but not a whiffed Graviton Surge. The Ancestral comes just in time for Johanna to pop her trait and then be healed, but it looks like she's still going to go down. Rhaegar could not get on her in time, and Rhaegar goes down next. The damage coming out of Zarya right now is just insane. She's fully charged in this fight and roaring to burn up anyone who dares stand near her. So, pretty good ult usage there. I didn't see the Blessed Shield go out, but it did go out. Ancestral Healing obviously went out. Wave of Force, great pick. Too often. Oh, it looks like we had a small pause in there. Just go ahead and ignore the text. Too often we have Li Ming's go disintegrate when Wave of Force is so much better. Wave of Force able to interrupt, to keep the Diablo, sorry, not interrupt, but to keep him off of your line, able to interrupt the Stukov silence. And it looks like they're opting, oh, sorry, last one, Isolation and Draken Laser Jolt. Looks like they're opting to defend bottom here with the Punisher coming on them. They are both very low, stuck by the Punisher. This is a Mortar Punisher stuck in those Mortar Punisher shots, and the Jaina Blizzard, just 3 more kills, racking up 2 levels ahead now for Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team. Diablo getting a little aggressive, pushing up onto Dahaka there, but you got a Punisher that's still got a little bit of health pushing up on this wall. So they get bottom fort, get a little bit of bottom wall, and just opt to, hey, you know what, we've got the pressure, let's go ahead and take this bottom. Let's take our opponent's siege. And then they're going to rotate to bottom siege, and then ideally they're going to rotate to their own siege as Yrel pushes this mid wall just to help that siege out, even in the slightest. Looks like 4 members of Backbone top fighting over this bruiser, pushing the pressure out of that lane that had been gathering from the extra catapult every 3rd wave after the kill of that fort that had gathered during that whole Punisher phase. And we get to moving on to, yeah, Yavapai is just going to opt to make the whole gambit, taking bottom, taking both mid sieges, and then moving on to their bruiser. Meanwhile, Backbone has to play kind of the clear game. They've got 3 clearing mid, Dahaka clearing bottom alone, Johanna pressuring with the bruiser top, but there's 3 members rotating onto her, 2 rotating onto the camp. Oh, the silence is brutal, and the body blocks are real. What a gank on that Johanna. Johanna stepped out just a little bit too far for a little bit too long, didn't know where Yavapai was, and got punished hard for it. Yavapai gonna go ahead and opt to push out, sorry, Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team, gotta say the whole thing. They're going to go ahead and opt to push out 1 more lane top before rotating towards mid and potentially pressuring this mid keep. Amazing Ring of Frost goes down on Tychus. Tychus gets the unstoppable, but doesn't walk anywhere, doesn't move at all, and gets stuck in the Graviton Surge, and that is a 3-man wipe, started by the Ring of Frost, ended with the Graviton Surge. The Yrel jumping in, smashing on their base, and blizzards just raining down from above. Yavapai playing a strong match here. They've got bruiser pressure top. They're going to get this wall. Only 2 members alive here, barely defending the fort. As that 3-man pick gets them 16. So Backbone playing on the back foot here. They really have to just play safe, soak, try to get picks if at any point Yavapai overextends, and they can attempt to close that level gap and get themselves on an even talent tier. It's not going to happen for this shrine, though. And my fear is this shrine may be the end of this game. I'm not certain, but if Yavapai does well here, Yavapai flanking behind the three members caught completely out by Backbone as I'm looking random places on the map. The root comes out as part of the Cone of Cold. Best talent in the game. And two members killed by an amazing bush flank. Judo Chop interrupted in his Z, not going to be able to make it out. Hoping his stasis can help him survive. Isolation not doing much for him this fight. That is going to be Punisher for Yavapai for sure. No way at this point. And even Urel going, you know what, you don't need me on Punisher. They have three members dead for the next 20 seconds. I'm going to go ahead and just soak mid up and keep our level advantage going while Backbone has to play back foot, soak bottom, soak mid, soak top, and just give this Punisher because they simply cannot. It's going to be a Frozen Punisher. That means I'm expecting at least a lost keep here, if not a push onto core. If they can get 16 before this Punisher pushes on, before it kills their keep, I think they can defend the core. So long as they don't get picked out like that anymore. I think the real issue this game for Backbone has simply been Yavapai has been on top of those rotations, on top of those ganks, making sure that they're playing together, playing coordinated, and being in the right position at the right time. Backbone seems to just be overextending without enough of their teammate members. They know they're behind on levels. They cannot afford to send only 3 towards the point while 2 continue to soak. That's just going to lose them a fight. And it looks like they're going to get 16 here before the Punisher comes on to keep fully. Keep is disabled now, so Yavapai County, Chess and Swim Team has no fear. Urel jumps on Rhaegar's face and just smacks him into Tomorrow. We have the Punisher smacking down the keep. Urel smacking down to Haka, who gets silenced, gets Ring of Frost onto, oh god, Tychus just melts. And Johanna's not far behind the Unstoppable, helping her get out of the Ring of Frost, but definitely keeping her on the back foot as she moves away. And this Punisher is pushing onto core now. Judo Chop onto Haka, getting pushed down. Johanna getting melted. The Unstoppable just barely keeping her alive as she moves back, but there's no damage here other than Li Ming, and they're just not going to be able to get this Punisher down in time. That is Johanna. That is a dead Li Ming. Ancestral simply not fast enough. Urel, Mega Milk, and Zarya simply just focusing the core down, while Andrade, Luna, and Hybrid Remix just, you know, play around with Dahaka, keep them off of their damage dealers that are attacking core. A amazing game there by Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team, who earn 1 point on the ticker. And are going to be moving on with the advantage into map number 2. We're going to quickly quit this replay while I chat a little bit with you guys over a sip of soda. Ladies and gentlemen, we are loading into game number 2. Ooh, excuse me there. Between Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team on this side. I'm flipped. And Backbone on the right. Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team took a strong game 1 with out-rotating, out-maneuvering, keeping the camp timings good, keeping the soak up, getting picks when possible. They were so many levels ahead that at some point Backbone really just didn't have a chance in coming back. That bush gank sealed the deal for them, eliminated 3 members just as the important part was coming up. But now we have a game number 2 between Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team and Backbone. On the left, we have Andrade playing Johanna, Luna playing Anna, Shank Benign playing Mephisto, Hybrid Remix playing Sylvanas, and Megu Milk playing Rexar. And on the right, with Backbone, we have Simulationist playing Mal'Ganis, Judo Chop playing Urel, Zorsis playing Raynor, Emerald Guard playing Kael'thas, and Lilabelle playing Lucio. They did the sound thing to me again, guys. Mega Milk, just letting everybody know, they love pizza. Pineapple pizza. At this point, we have another 4-1 map. We actually see Urel on the side of Judah Chop here. So Urel going into Rexar should be an interesting matchup. I know Urel can be very strong into Rexar, so long as you're focusing on Rexar and not Misha. But I didn't pay too much attention to how well the solo lane was going last game. But hopefully the solo lane is much more important on Braxis holdout. So we shall see how well it goes this game. And we see the 4-man bottom just kind of looks like Mal'Ganis main tank, Rainer damage, Kael'thas damage a little bit. I think I like this team comp out of Backbone a little bit more than their team comp last game. But I also simply adore oh god, spreading the fire. I simply adore the team comp simply for the tank side of things and the Rexar side of things from Yavapai kind of youth chest and swim team. Gotta stop spreading those fires, guys. If you have a little bit of a flame on you, just if at all possible, try to spread away from your allies. And if you notice an ally with a bunch of flame on them, don't stand near them. Those are your basically that's your job when you're playing into a KT. Don't stand near whoever has the fire. And if you have the fire, don't stand near your allies if you can, because you're just spreading all of that damage around, giving him all that fun joy that he wants. So Mephisto here, good job. Shank-B9 spreading away, still ends up, no, that's just a separate bomb. Never mind. Looks like Rexar pushing Urel off the point here top, but point bottom is being taken by, oof, Hybrid Remix gonna get blasted down by that KT. KT OP! That's what they always say, at least in my leagues. Looks like Zorsis is going to back out of mana, but this is going to give a chance to the Yavapai kind of youth chest and swim team to rotate back onto this point. There's only 3 here. There are only 3 here, but at least it's a 3v3 now and not a 3v4. Looks like Urel doing her best to keep him off. The way that these points get contested now after the changes in the first couple weeks of the season means as long as you've captured the point, looks like Zorsis is going to opt to rotate up, get rid of that Misha bear, and the 3-man actually doing quite a lot of work down bottom as well, more than I would expect, but that's what you get when you have a KT. The Ana's going to be hurting this Mal'Ganis a lot. A lot of his sustain comes off of his ability to self-heal. It looks like he did go the armed guard, so he will have a little bit of, that's what it's called, right? Winged guard. He went the winged guard, so he has a lot of more health pool, essentially, considering he basically has 75 physical armor against the N gauge of whatever basic attacks come out on him. Not that there are huge basic attackers from Yavapai, but it's every little bit helps. And he also went Echo of Doom at 4. That's interesting. I play Mal'Ganis a little bit, and usually if I'm trying to play him in a main tank role, I will go, what are his talents? Oh, I can't click, okay. Might of Sargeras, no, it's not Might of Sargeras, maybe it is. Urel getting rotated on here top, 2 rotating up, Ana and Mephisto, giving bottom, realizing, hey, we're not going to be able to get this very well. Uh-oh, I don't want to be following you. Hey. Stop it. Okay, there we go. Looks like now that they have seen that camp get grabbed, they're going to try to rotate back onto this bottom point. Hybrid Remix getting a lot of damage out on this Mephisto. Without his heals, basically from the honor grenades, he is going to go down. Yeah, Sylvanas standing way far out, and Backbone not able to grab it. Looks like Orluna disconnected slightly during that point, but got reconnected with a quick pause. And now with Rainer dead and Mal'Ganis just respawning, you should get a little bit of beacon progress at least for Yavapai kind of youth chest and swim team. But unfortunately, that Urel just keeping on this point, and a rotation by Mal'Ganis top is going to force Mega Milk to back off. Looks like a huge rotation top. And so everybody's going top. Just bottom lane is completely gone. I think in cases like this, where they're all top, you know they can't pressure bottom, so you can start pressuring their fort bottom and get a little bit of lane pressure, making it harder for them to push onto that point in the future. But getting a pick on a Urel is a good choice too, and the KT goes down as well, and the camp is stolen. So overall, the rotation top worked very well for Yavapai County Trust and Swim Team, and this is where things, I believe, are going to start turning around for them. They get another good stun on Raynor. Raynor has no healing right now. Goodbye self-heal, and Raynor goes down. This Ana shutting down the Raynor, shutting down the Mal'Ganis. They simply cannot engage, and they're going to get a huge push top here with the siege camp. Just getting out this wall. Potentially, the siege camp is very likely going to be getting... Yeah. This should be... Oh, no, maybe not. Maybe the wave will proc onto it. Yep. Okay. Sippy is saved. So, a defense here looks like Mal'Ganis on the offense, Urel on the defense. You need more wave clear down here, guys. If you don't clear these waves, they do a lot more damage now at the initial start. So they're just going to shred straight through this fort. It looks like they're going to opt to push with their own wave, hopefully getting some similar amount of damage. But the push here is absolutely insane. There's still a higher than 50% Zerg wave here pushing onto this keep wall. With the drop pods mechanic and all the extra damage that these guys are going to shoot out, they're definitely getting keep wall here. Looks like fort still hasn't gone down. A lot of the Zerg damage is going towards Misha. Misha gets the stun out. They're opting to retreat, give the fort, push bottom. They already have keep wall here. Still have 46% of their wave pushing up. They have level 10s coming online now, so we've got Blessed Shield, Nano Boost. Still haven't picked from no, that's not Mal'Ganis. That's Mephisto. Durance of Hate from Mephisto, which is the Rudy one. Interesting choice. Okay, they opt to back off here. They got to keep wall. They're going to try to protect their own. Zerg waves have evened out a little bit now. But definitely a strong pressure from these Zerg waves early game if you don't opt to have most of your members turn to clear, or at least your best clearing member. You need somebody like KT on the clear. You need somebody like Solanas on the clear for the side of Yavapai County Youth Chess Swim Team. So getting back to those ults, we do see Blessed Shield, Nano Boost, Durance of 8, Wailing Arrow, and Unleash the Boars. So immediately off the bat, I'm seeing Nano Boost into Mephisto. Pretty strong. Skull Missile build already is going to be really strong. Looks like Backbone opting to attempt to invade the siege camp here. Not the best decision when you're down a heroic talent tier. They're going to lose 3 for it, probably lose 4. Nope, Mephisto gets whopped back by his Wraith. And Raynor barely survives, but opting to look towards boss now. They grab their own siege. And gonna rotate towards boss. Urel and Raynor forced to just kind of like hang back, wait for 10s, hope to clear whatever they can. They very likely know the boss is happening right now, but there's absolutely nothing they can do about clearing this in time. They still don't have level 10, so that is a huge disadvantage for them right now. And this boss push, plus these guys, this bruiser camp here, may very well spell the end for Backbone, especially if Urel gets picked here. Urel jumping out of the way. It looks like she's gonna shove him away and just back out. Give the fort. Looks like Backbone not rotating yet to defend this. Obviously they're giving the fort, so they're hoping to get a little bit of counter pressure bottom and hope to keep this wave from pushing in bottom while they defend top. But caught out is Raynor trying to prevent Yavapai from pushing onto this camp. At this point, you have a boss on your keep wall. You just kind of have to let them out the camp. The Durance of Hate getting a lot of value there. Urel soaking into, but Oraluna's still alive, taking some of those fire balls out of Kel'Thas's face, getting spread to yet again. But Kel'Thas quite overextended into this Mephisto. And the boss gets all of keep wall, and now is pushing on to keep. They're very low health here. Looks like Raynor's just now coming back after being picked out. Let's see what ults we got. We got Carrion Swarm, good. Ardent Defender. See, I like the area armor better because you can throw it on one of these points and just hold the point for a really long time. You take 50% less damage as long as you're in that armor, and the counterplay to Ardent Defender is just stop attacking Urel for a couple seconds, and she's just the same HP she was before. They're able to kind of shut her down. Looks like Misha overextended, but Rhaegar's in a fine spot, so willing to sacrifice the bear. Looks like Yavapai setting up another rotation engage. Urel left behind as Backbone rotates bottom, so we see Urel being rotated onto by all 5 members of Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team, and she just goes down. Hyperion out of Raynor, Phoenix out of Kael'thas, and Sound Barrier out of Lucio, so pretty standard there. Looks like they're opting to just simply back up. Drawing a little bit out there, but she knows Urel's dead. She knows they've got 13 talent lead, so still somewhat safe. It's also Johanna, so she can kind of just walk away from whatever she wants to as long as too much isn't there. And the Carrion Swarm gets interrupted. The sleep winds up with Endurance of Hate Root, but Anna is going to go down. The pick has been made, and now they will have their healing, and the Carrion Swarm is going to help him get all the way back up, but woo, all of that crazy damage out of Mephisto there coming onto Backbone kind of just forces them back. They don't lose any members there, but almost lose Kael'thas, almost lose Rhaegar. No, dude, who's Rhaegar? Almost lose Lucio, excuse me. Sound Barrier managed to keep him alive. As we see this top Zerg wave pushing in now. Massive 100% Zerg wave to a 5% Zerg wave bottom. Already almost entirely cleared. Looks like Yavapai is going to opt to push up with their Zerg waves. Zerg waves now scale a lot more health-wise into the late game, but scale less damage-wise into the late game. So they're at least as far as I'm aware, that's how it works. They're a lot more threatening in the early game in terms of damage, but a lot more sustainful in the late game in terms of health. Makes them, you have to still continue to dedicate people to clear because they're going to be doing just as much damage as they were before and just last a little bit longer each time. It's a good defense so far from Backbone, only losing the Kael'thas, but now they lose all 4 surviving members. And that very well is going to be GG in game number 2 between Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team and Backbone. We see a 2-0 domination victory by Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team in round 5 against Backbone. Just getting a couple of good picks, really, is all that those 2 games came down to. It's a couple of managing to push onto Backbone at just the right times, make sure that they're rotating, they're staying together, and they're getting picks whenever they know that the rest of Backbone is not in position. So Yavapai doing a really great job of just rotating and staying on top of both of those points there. They were losing out a little bit early game. I think their comp scales a little bit better into the late game as well. So a little bit to be expected, losing a little bit in the early game, especially with KT, who's very strong early game hero on the side of Backbone. So unfortunately, Backbone could not keep themselves alive once they got to the late game. Simply got out-rotated, flanked again. Another bush flank, man. Another bush flank decides that match. And we see Yavapai County Youth Chess and Swim Team take the 2-0. So congratulations and great gameplay by both teams. I know I didn't do as much analysis in this game as maybe some of the other casters around do. I'm simply not as versed in all of the technicalities of this game. I'm maybe versed in a few heroes' technicalities, and unfortunately many of the heroes that I am versed in were not showcased tonight, so I wasn't able to provide too much analysis from that standpoint. But I hope that was at least entertaining enough for you guys to have a little bit of feedback on how best to try and keep those rotations on point, and how important those rotations are as you go further and further into the game and start to play more of the 5-man group as you get closer to level 20. I don't think level 20 reached in either game tonight. Pretty quick wins out of Yavapai, but congrats again to Yavapai and great play to both teams. Thank you so much for letting me cast your replay. And if you want me to cast your replay, please just go ahead and message me on the NGS Discord whenever you have a replay up, and I'll see if I have some time to grab it out of the pile of replays before Arrow snaps it up in his NGS Rewind every Sunday. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Arcane with NGS Season 7. Hope you all have a wonderful day.